कोभिड-19 को महामारीले गर्दा पठन पाठनमा भएको असहज परिस्थितिमा पनि रीड नेपाल र कालिका मानवज्ञान मावि बुटोलद्वारा उत्पादित यो कार्यक्रम ग्रिन तारा नेपाल, फेडो नेपाल र रीड नेपालबाट संयुक्त रूपमा सञ्चालित स्ट्रङ गर्ल्स प्रोजेक्टको एक अंश हो। यस करोडा जर्मनी तथा जर्मन सरकार BMZ को आर्थिक सहयोग रहेको छ। स्टे होम, स्टे सेफ।
Hello everyone, Namaskar. This is Praveen Rannan from Kalika Manavyan Secondary School, Butolten, Rupandahi. Today we will be discussing about class 7, our English book, class 7, unit 1, relative clause. Our today's topic is relative clause that you will see on your textbook, page number 7, number 6, time for grammar. Okay everyone? So, I think this topic relative clause is relatable for from this class onwards, at least up to 11 to go. So I have chosen this topic for today's classroom because it is also in our textbook unit 1. It is also most of the students are deprived of some textbook nowadays. Therefore, I am here and directly jump to the grammatical section in today's classroom. Okay, before we go to the relative clause, I would like to have some basic information regarding some sentence pattern and then analysis of sentence. Okay, before we understand this word clause, we must be able to understand various other factors. Okay, in a sentence, the very basic form of sentence is word. What is the basic form of sentence? Alright, so combining some words, a phrase is developed. Combining some words, a phrase is developed. And combining some phrases, a clause is developed. Okay, clause. And combining some clauses, what do we develop? Can you guess? That is sentence. Okay, this is the hierarchy. This is the hierarchy. In English language, very basic level of sentence pattern is word, and then combining some words, I'll give you examples also after a while. Combining some words, a phrase is developed. Combining some phrases, clause is developed, and combining some clauses, sentence can be formed. On the other hand, we can also say words are smaller than phrases. Are you getting my point? All of you concentrate. Words are smaller than phrases. Phrases are smaller than clauses, and clauses are smaller than sentences. Sometimes clause can act as sentence also in some cases, in very specific cases. Now let us see example. Let's see the example. For example, I will give you one example like a word example, person. Person. It's a word. Person is a word. Similarly, famous. Famous. Next word. Okay. Similarly, strong. Strong. Next word. Strong. Next word. Weak. Next word. These are some examples of words. These are some examples of words. Okay. So as I have mentioned you earlier also, combining some words, a phrase is developed. Phrase is developed. Like if I say a famous person. A famous person. Now this is a phrase. This is a phrase, and there are three words as you can see. A is one word, famous is next word, and person is next word. There are three words. Combining these three words, a phrase is developed. That means what we have to understand is phrases are larger than words. Okay, phrases are larger than words. There are three words and it is a phrase. It is a phrase. Single phrase, one phrase, but multiple words. There are three words. To be a phrase, there must be at least two words. Okay, combining some words, a phrase is developed. Now let's talk about clause. Our next part is clause. Okay, so clauses are larger than phrases. Clauses are larger than phrases and smaller than sentence. Clauses are literally smaller than sentences. Okay, it is in mid between phrase and sentence. Larger than phrases, clauses are larger than phrases, and then they are smaller than sentences. For example, let's see. I'll give you one clause. Standing right in front of the mirror. Standing right in front of the mirror. You see? So this is larger than a phrase. As you can see, this is larger than a phrase. But it is not a sentence. It is not a complete sentence. To be a sentence, there must be complete meaning conveyed. Okay? So it does not give complete meaning. That therefore it is not a sentence, but it is a clause. Because it is smaller than sentence and it is larger than a phrase. Okay? So my dear students, focus here. Our next term is sentence. And sentence is a complete meaningful form of a language. Okay, sentence is a complete meaningful form of a language. So whichever language you speak, especially we speak more often Nepali and English language in our country. So in both languages you will see sentences, and sentence provide complete information. Sentence provide meaningful information. Sentence should be grammatically right, grammatically correct. Sentence should be so systematic. Okay, and sentences are larger than clause. I'll give you one example of sentence. The boy who is standing right in front of mirror is my brother. The boy who is standing right in front of mirror is my brother. So why I am giving this long kind of sentences, I'll explain you. Because this part I have used. This part I have used in this sentence. I just would like to make it clear that clauses are smaller than sentences. In a sentence there might be multiple clauses. Or let us say, combining some clauses, sentence is formed. The next very perfect example of clauses and sentences are, you can go with conditional sentences also. If clause, main clause, you see, if clause and main clause. If clause and main clause. It is also known as conditional sentences. Conditional sentences means sentence that creates some kind of condition. For example, very famous universal kind of sentence, you see, if I were a bird, I would fly in the sky. So wherever you study, you will study this sentence. In each and every part of our country, you will study this sentence. So this is universal kind of sentence in our country, and this is a condition. This is a condition. You see, if I were a bird, I would fly in the sky. You see, there are two clauses. Comma separates both clauses. There are two clauses and it is a sentence. This is one sentence, but there are two clauses. I mean to say is, combining some clauses, a sentence can be formed. Combining some clauses, a sentence is formed. One more time, let's see all of you, concentrate very properly. The very basic form of language is word. Okay? So combining some words, we can develop phrase like this of famous person. There are three words. Words like person is one word, famous is next word, strong is next word. Similarly, we can go on and on. There are so many words, thousands of words in English vocabulary. Okay, so next one is phrase. Combining some words, we can generate phrase. There are three words, but this is single phrase. Similarly, next is clause. Clauses are smaller than sentences, as you can see in example also. Clauses are smaller than sentences and they are larger than phrases. Are you getting my point? Clauses are larger than phrases and they are smaller than sentences. Clauses come between phrase and sentence. Okay. In some specific cases, clauses can act as sentence also. That is next thing. And next part of this hierarchy is sentence. Combining some sentence. Sentence is the largest part of this hierarchy. Combining some clauses, sentence is generated, sentence is formed. So do you understand this or not? Word, phrase, clause and sentence. In today's class, we need this part. Clause. Okay? In today's classroom, we need this part, clause. Very wisely focus. This is one of the example of clause. Clauses are smaller than sentences. Clauses are larger than phrases. Okay, why I am focusing this particular thing only because our complete entire exercise is related based on this part, clause, because we are discussing relative clause in today's classroom. Clause. Okay, so let's see the slide also. Okay, my dear student, as I have mentioned to you, you will see this number 6, time for grammar relative clause, on your textbook also, on page number 7. Okay, page number 7. So we discussed this thing. Couple of minutes ago. We were discussing this thing. You see, first of all, word. Word is very basic form of sentence. For example, person. Person is a word. Similarly, so combining some words, phrase is developed. Phrase is a combination of words. For example, you see, example, or the person. There are 3 words, but that is a single phrase. That is one phrase. Combining some words, a phrase can be developed. Similarly, next is clause. Clauses are larger than phrase and smaller than sentences. Clauses are larger than phrase and smaller than sentences. Sometimes clauses can act as a sentence also. For example, standing in front of the mirror. Same example I gave you just now. And next part is the highest part of this scenario is sentence. Sentence is always larger than clauses. Sentence is larger than clause. Okay, for example, you can generate so many sentences. Ram is a student. Ram works really hard. Okay, Shyam is a doctor, etc., etc. So there is one example of sentence. The boy with a red tie is my brother. The boy is a red tie is my brother. You see, in English we follow SBO pattern. That is subject, verb and then object. Okay, subject, verb and then object. For example, first of all we have to mention subject in a sentence, and then auxiliary verb, main verb and then object. In some cases we can generate some sentences without auxiliary verb also, but main verb is compulsory. Okay, basically sentence means we understand that we talk about assertive sentence. In assertive sentence there should be subject also, verb also and then object also. Okay, that kind of sentence is called assertive sentence, but there are other parts also. There are other kinds of sentences also, you know. They are assertive sentence, imperative sentence, exclamatory sentence, interrogative sentence. All those are other kinds of sentences. Alright, so we are in this topic, relative clause. So I would like to call it linking sentence also. Linking sentences or joining sentences. Relative clause, linking sentences, joining sentences, they are same in a sense. Okay, now question may arise, how do we link multiple sentences, 2 or more than sentences? How can we connect 2 or more sentences into one? How can we convert 2 or more sentences into one? Okay, so there are some tips. For connecting 2 or more than 2 sentences into one. Okay, tip number 1, that is you are going to find out common part. Number 1 is common part. If there are 2 sentences, then in both sentences, what are the common factors? What are the common parts? First of all, you need to find out common parts between those sentences. If there are 2 sentences, what are the common factors, common parts in those 2 sentences? If there are 3 sentences, what are the common factors, parts between 3 sentences? Okay, concentrate very properly because this is so important. So first of all, you need to find out the common part from those multiple sentences. Okay, Second of all, you have to maintain tense. Also branch of tense. Okay, how many tenses are there in English? How many tenses are there? You have discussed this in your other classroom also. There are 3 tenses. There are 3 tenses. There are 3 tenses, but there are 12 branches. Each tense has got 4 branches. Okay, each tense has got 4 branches. There are 3 tenses. They are present tense, past tense and future tense. And there are 12 branches. Each tense has got 4 branches. 4 branches for each. So yes, second of all, second factor is you need to maintain tense also. If there is present tense used in your question, then in that very case you have to use present tense in your answer also. If there is past tense in your question, then in that case you must use past tense in your answer as well. Okay, you have to maintain tense. Not only tense, you have to maintain branch of tense also. If there is simple present tense in question, then you have to use simple present tense. If there is simple past tense, in that case you have to use simple past tense. I'll give you example. Like you see, example, Prasun is my son. He loves ice cream. He loves ice cream very much. Prasun is my son. He loves ice cream very much. You see, there are 2 sentences. Prasun is my son is one sentence. He loves ice cream very much is next sentence. There are 2 sentences. Okay, now we are going to link these 2 sentences with the help of relative clauses. We are going to link these 2 sentences with the help of relative clauses. Now, as I have mentioned you, first of all, you need to find out the common part in 2 sentences. You need to find out the common part in 2 sentences. Okay, and that common part is, you see, Prasun and then he. Prasun is in noun form. Okay, parts of speech wise, Prasun is noun. Okay, and he is pronoun. You have done parts of speech in your previous classroom. Class 4, class 5, class 6, even in class 7 also we will be doing parts of speech. There are several parts of speech. You know, noun, adverb, adjective, pronoun, conjunction, these all are known as parts of speech. So parts of speech wise, Prasun is noun and he is pronoun. In other sense, he refers to this noun Prasun. That is why this is common in both sentences. He and Prasun, this is common in both sentences. Okay, now let us see. Let us connect these 2 sentences. Prasun. Because these 2 things, these 2 words are similar, same, they are same. Only parts of speech wise they are different, otherwise they are same. Okay, Prasun. Now we are going to connect these 2 sentences. You see, here is also present tense, here is also present tense. In both cases there are present tense. As I have told you, you have to maintain tense also. While connecting 2 sentences into one, while converting multiple sentences into one, you have to be careful about tense also. You can't destroy tense, you can't zigzag tense. That is why present tense is used in question. That very tense we will use in our answer too. So present tense is followed here also. Before that, you see Prasun and he. Now he is in subjective case. Subjective case. I'll give you the condition. Formula also, don't worry, I'll give you formula. So you see, Prasun and he, they are connected, and he is in subjective case. He is in subjective case. You know subject? Subject initiates any sentence always. Subject always initiates any sentence. Subject appears right before of verb. Subject, loves is verb 5, and then object. Subject, verb, object. He is subject, love is verb 5, and then this is object. Okay, so this is person. He means person. Yes, of course it is in pronoun case, but it is person. It is person. Obviously it is a person. So if person occurs in subjective case, at that time we have to use who. Okay, one more time. if any person appears in subjective case, at that time we use who. Okay, person in a subjective case, at that time we use who. Person in a objective case, at that time we use whom. Person in a possessive case, at that time we use whose. This is how we connect two sentences using relative clauses, using relative pronoun. Okay, so the word who, we have taken this word who from where? From where? Let's see, from here, because there is person in subjective case, that is why instead of this he, we have brought here who, person who. And after that, you see this pattern, who loves, same tense, you see, same tense, tense is constant, present tense, also present tense. Person who loves ice cream very much, person who loves ice cream very much is my son. Person who loves ice cream very much is my son. You see, we have connected these two sentences. We have connected these two sentences into one. We have connected these two sentences into one. So this is only one sentence, a single sentence. At last there is full stop. At last there is full stop. You see, this is a single sentence. But there were multiple sentences. Person is my son was one sentence, and he loves ice cream very much was next sentence. There were two sentences. So with the help of relative pronoun, we have converted two sentences into one. In the same way, we are going to convert some sentences. Before that, yes. So with some tips to link two or more than two sentences into one. Okay, number one, common part. You guys must be able to recognize common part in multiple sentences. You guys should be able to find out the common part. One. Second, you have to maintain tense. Not only just tense, but also branches of tense also, because those branches of tense should remain constant in your answer as well. Third, number third is you have to find out one relative pronoun. You have to find out one relative pronoun. Okay, relative pronoun. So now question may arise: what is relative pronoun? Okay, so relative pronoun are those kind of pronoun which are in a way or another related to person, thing or object. That kind of pronoun is called relative pronoun. Okay, one more time. Relative pronouns are those kinds of pronouns. They were associated, related with person, thing or object. Among various types of pronouns such as personal pronoun, demonstrative pronoun, distributive pronoun, reflexive pronoun, relative pronoun is one. Okay, some of the relative pronoun words are, you see, who is a relative pronoun word. Similarly, whom, whose, okay, where, when, which, that, why, how. So these all are relative pronoun words. By using such words, we connect multiple sentences into one. We convert multiple sentences into one. Okay, are you getting my point or not? So let us see with the help of slide now. Dear students, let's see. Now, how do we connect multiple sentences into one using relative pronoun? Okay, there are some tips as you can see on the screen. Number first is, while converting multiple sentences into one, first of all, you should find out the common things between the sentences. Okay, common things. Now analyze properly analyze those given sentences, given questions in a question paper or other textbook, and then find out the common part. Okay, find out the common part. So before converting multiple sentences into one, first of all, find out the common part, common factor between two or more than two sentences, between given sentences. Okay, number first tip. Number second one, you have to balance tense. You have to balance tense. In fact, branch of tense too. Not only or tense, but also you have to balance branch of tense. Branch of tense. There are 12 branches of tenses. There are only 3 tenses. Be crystal clear. Okay, there are three tenses and there are 12 branches of tenses. For example, if there is present tense used in question, then you have to use that very tense, present tense, in your answer too. If there is present tense used in question, then in that case you have to use present tense in your answer too. Okay, I am talking about tense only now. Right now I am talking about tense only. What if there comes simple present tense? What if there comes present continuous tense? What if there comes present perfect tense? If there is simple present tense, now I am entering into branch of tense. If there is present continuous tense in question, at that time you need to balance that continuous tense in your answer too. Okay, tense wise, branch of tense wise, you should balance both. Your second tip says so. Number third, you see, if necessary, you can use relative pronoun as well to get your answers grammatically right. Okay, why I am saying if necessary? Because in your textbook on page 7, number 6, time for grammar, there two sentences are linked, converted into one, but without using relative pronoun. In some cases, we can convert multiple sentences into one without using relative pronoun as well. But more often we use relative pronoun. More often we use relative pronoun to connect two or more than two sentences. Alright? If you need this, you can jot it down in your copy. Alright. Dear student, let's see. I hope this will help you out very well. So question may arise like what is relative pronoun now? So I have told you so many times that we need relative pronoun to join two or more than two sentences, to link two or more than two sentences. Relative pronoun is compulsory. With the help of relative pronoun, we use a formula, we link two or more than sentences. I have told you several times in today's classroom. Therefore, now let's see what is relative pronoun. Okay, relative pronouns are those kinds of pronouns which always relate back to something or someone else. One more time, relative pronouns are those kinds of pronouns which always relate back to something. Something means object or thing, anything could be, or someone else. Someone means person, of course. Okay, something or someone, thing or object or someone else. Relative pronouns are those kinds of pronouns which always relate back to something or someone else. Okay, that's the definition of relative pronoun in a sense. They are used to join two sentences about the same person or thing. So that we will practice in our question also, that you will realize later on also. If you have realized, very good. If you have not realized yet, that you can realize after a while. Okay, they are used to join two sentences about the same person or thing. Okay, that means common thing. There might be there should be some common factors, common part in multiple sentences. So we're talking about those common parts here. For example, let's see the example. The man is my brother is one sentence. The man is my brother is one sentence. Next one is the man is wearing red tie. The man is my brother is one sentence. Next sentence is the man is wearing a red tie. If you have noticed, there are two sentences because full stop always ends one sentence, right? That is why in middle part you see the man is my brother, full stop. That is one complete sentence. Okay? And next sentence is the man is wearing red tie. If you go through tense wise, you see in first sentence present tense is used. In first sentence present tense is used, simple present tense is used. But in next sentence present continuous tense is used. So you have to balance tense also. Okay? Simple present tense, present continuous tense. You have to balance tense also. Next factor you see in both sentence there is the man. The man is common. The man is common. And the man means always the person. Now you see the definition of relative pronoun. Relative pronouns are those kinds of pronouns which always relate back to something or someone else. Now in this case there is someone, means person. Person is the man. The man is common in both sentences. Okay? Let us connect two sentences. So how do you connect? How do you connect two sentences? As I have told you earlier also, if person appears in subjective case, at that time we always use relative pronoun who to connect two sentences, or let us say multiple sentences. There is the man. The man means person, and the man is in subjective case. You can see it is in subjective part, subjective person. Subject always initiate any sentence. The man is in subjective case. That is why if person appears in subjective case, at that time we use relative pronoun who to connect multiple sentences. First of all, let us begin with subject. Answer, you see, the man. The man is common. Common thing we only write for once. Do not repeat common things, common factors. Okay. The man for once only in your answer. The man is common. That is for the man. And after that, because the man, you see the second sentence. The man is wearing red tie. The man is in subjective case. That is why relative pronoun who is used in this case. The man who. And then you see the tense. Is wearing, continuous tense, present continuous tense. Therefore, same present continuous tense is used. The man who is wearing red tie is my brother. Simple present tense. As you can see in question also, the man is my brother. From there, we have brought this is my brother. Okay? To sum up, your answer goes like this. The man who is wearing red tie is my brother. Is your right answer. Okay? This is how we connect two or more than sentences using relative pronoun. Okay? In this case, very specifically, we have used a relative pronoun who because the man, there is person in subjective case. Alright. So we discussed about subjective case. I have given you some examples regarding subjective case. Now, what if person comes in objective case? For example, you see, I'll give you two sentences first of all. Person is my son. Your first sentence. I love him very much. Person is my son. I love him very much. Person is my son is your first sentence. I love him very much is your second sentence. Again, in this case also there are two sentences. Okay. Again, in this case also present tense is used, as you can see. In this case also present tense is used. In this case also there are two sentences. Now, but there is slightly different between earlier example and this example. I am not talking about sentence wise. I am talking about some specific in a specific way. There are some differences. You see. And that differences we will analyze. Okay. So first of all, person. You see the subject. Person. In earlier, the subject person and he, they were connected. They were related. But in this case, person and I are different person. Okay. Person is next person and I means me myself. Person and I are not relatable. Okay. But person and him, you see, him are relatable. Person and him are relatable. Okay, person and him are relatable. So now, what does this him refers to? Of course, him is pronoun. We all know that him is pronoun. But which kind of pronoun? I mean, which case? Pronoun in which case? It is in objective case. It is in objective case. Okay. Him also refers to person. Him also refers to person, but this him refers to objective case. The subjective case of him is he. He is subjective case. Okay. Him is objective case and his is possessive case. So here these cases are so important. In relative clauses, cases are so important. Okay, so him is in objective case. And our formula says that if there is person in objective case, at that time we must use whom. Alright, if there is person in objective case, at that time we must use whom. Relative pronoun whom is used in case of person in objective case. Okay, so you see your answer was like this. The common thing is person, again person and him. Person, your subject is person, P-R-A-S-O-O-N. Okay, person. Now let's connect these two sentences. Let's convert these two sentences into one. Person is my son. Person is my son. Now relative pronoun time. So there is a him. Him means person. It is in pronoun form, but yes, him means person because him refers to person. But it is in objective case. If there is objective case, we must use relative pronoun whom instead of him. Okay. Instead of him, we have used whom. Now you can't write him here in our answer. Person is my son. Person is my son whom I love very much. You see, person is my son whom I love very much. So this is how we convert two sentences into one using relative pronoun. Okay, so let's see one more example. One more example. He went to his uncle's house. He went to his uncle's house. Your first sentence, and next sentence you see he lived there for 20 years. Okay, all of you here, concentrate please. He went to his uncle's house is your first sentence. Next sentence is he lived there for 20 years. One sentence. Next sentence. There are two sentences again. But as you can notice that tense wise it is different from this sentence. From example 1, this example number 2 is different tense wise because the present tense was used and now there is past tense. See, past tense. Basically we have to balance tense. In our answer we will be balancing tense. Alright. So you see, now let us find the common factors. He, common thing. Okay, he, common thing. That is why he is your subject. And after that, let's see. He went to his uncle's house. Uncle's house. Uncle's house means place, of course. Uncle's house means place. He went to his uncle's house. In this sentence, house is given much more importance. Okay, uncle's house is given much more importance, not any other's house but uncle's house. Okay, rather than subject he, we are focusing much more, we are giving much more importance to uncle's house. Are you getting my point? So uncle's house is prioritized in this sentence, and house means of course place. If there is place in question, at that time we must use relative pronoun where. Okay, if there is place in question, at that time we must use relative pronoun where. He went to his uncle's house where he lived for 20 years. He went to his uncle's house where he lived for 20 years. In this sentence we are talking about place. That is why relative pronoun where is used. Notice this thing, okay? All of you, notice this thing. If there is place, we use where. If there is person in a subjective case, we always use who. If there is person in objective case, we use whom. If there is person in possessive case, at that time we use whose. If there is time, at that time we use when. If there is things or object, at that time we use which or that. Alright? So you see, so we have converted two sentences into one using the relative pronoun where. Let's have a look on this slide. Relative pronoun rules. There are some rules regarding relative pronouns, some condition, criteria. Okay? Number 1, person. If there is person in a subjective case, at that time we use relative pronoun who, as you can see on your screen also. If there is person in objective case, at that time we use whom. If there is person in possessive case, or let us say if there is apostrophe s, in that case we use relative pronoun whose. If there is place in your question, at that time we use relative pronoun where. If there is thing or animal, okay, if there is thing or animal in your question, at that time we use which or that. If there is time, at that time we use when. If there is reason, we use why. If there is manner or way, we use relative pronoun how. These are the condition. These are the condition for relative pronouns. Okay, this is relative pronoun rule. In this way, we are going to use relative pronoun while linking multiple sentences into one. Now, let us go to the practice session. You can see some questions on your screen. See, these two, above two are examples from your book only. The man is reading the paper. The man is my brother. There are two sentences. The man is reading the paper. The man is my brother. As you can see on our screen also, there are two sentences. Okay, so now we are going to link two sentences with the help of relative pronoun also. But if you see your book, without using relative clause, two sentences are joined. Okay, you see number B also, example number B. The mobile is mine. The mobile is mine. The mobile has touch screen. You can guess your answers inside your mind, or you can jot it down in your copy also. Okay, all of you get ready. Get ready. Guess your answers. Okay. The mobile is mine. The mobile has touch screen. Again, there are two sentences. Okay, you can use relative pronoun also while linking two sentences, or without using relative pronoun also you can link two sentences here. Because if you see your book, you will see some sentences joining without using relative pronoun. Okay, you see same questions are there. Next question, question number 1, you see downside. The class is near the office. The class is ours. These are the questions from a book only. These are the questions from a book only. Okay, the class is near the office. The class is ours. So one interesting part is, I think in each and every question present tense is used. Okay, if you have noticed. Number B, the book is mine. The book has a hardcover. The book is mine. The book has a hardcover. Alright, if you have guessed your answers, let us check. Let's check the answer. Okay, let's check the answer. The answers are like this. You see, the man reading the paper is my brother. I have told you that if you see your book, without using relative pronoun, two sentences are linked. Okay, but you can use relative pronoun also. The man who is reading the paper is my brother is also right. Number B, the mobile is mine. The mobile has touch screen. The mobile with touch screen is mine. Or you can also say the mobile which has touch screen is mine is also right. Similarly, downside, you see real questions. The class is near the office. The class is ours. The class near the office is ours without using relative pronoun. You can use pronoun also, like the class which is near the office is ours is also right. The book is mine. The book has a hardcover. The book with a hardcover is mine. So in these sentences we have converted multiple sentences into one. Similarly, some more questions you can see on your screen. The boy is wearing a blue shirt. The boy is wearing a blue shirt. The boy is my cousin. The painter is a deaf person. The painter is using sign language. Similarly, last but not the least, the woman is a nurse. The woman is in red sari. Okay, so guess your answers. Guess your answers. Okay, now let's check out. The boy wearing a blue shirt is my cousin. The boy wearing a blue shirt is my cousin. Again, without using relative pronoun. Number D, the painter using sign language is deaf. Here also without using relative pronoun. You can also say the painter who is using sign language is a deaf person is also right. You can use relative pronoun there also. The woman is a nurse. The woman is in red sari. The woman in a red sari is a nurse. So today's classroom, what did we learn is how to join multiple sentences using relative pronoun into one. Okay, some basic forms we discussed. They are words, phrase, clause, and then sentence. Because clause part we needed in our exercise, that is why we discussed about those things. And yes, so yes, and after that we discussed how to link multiple sentences into one. In today's classroom, we also discussed how to link multiple sentences into one, where we discussed about some tips also. Some tips like you need to find out a major part. You need to find out major part, and after that we also discussed about balancing tense while converting sentences into one. Similarly, we discussed about relative pronoun. Now I think you guys are clear about relative clause, relative pronoun. What is clause, what is word, what is sentence, what is phrase, etc. thing we discussed in today's classroom. Okay, so this much for today's classroom. Thank you so much for your patience, everyone, and I hope I will join you in my next classroom very soon.